Feeling lost in your power? Join me to reclaim your confidence, set boundaries, and align with your true self. Stick around for this life-changing reading. Welcome back, fellow soul seekers. Here we are, ready to do another episode in our current spiritual healing and wellness series, which is so exciting and a profound part of our journey lifelong as a soul. Many times we start out being youngsters, we always do, and then we grow into where we're at right now. And where you're at right now is perfect. However you got here and whatever you're regretting, whatever you're looking forward to, whatever is right now in the choices you're making, the responsibilities you're accepting, anything that is really just right here for you. And know that they're all here on purpose. And one of the things we're going to be looking at right now is the reclaiming. I know we've been looking at awakening and releasing, remembrance, healing, expansion, reconnecting, empowerment. It's hard to do anything that's real linear, like this is what you do first and second and third. You kind of have this spiraling infinity symbol type thing where it keeps coming back around and around. I never realized that until I was much older, and realizing once and done doesn't do it. So it's kind of like cleaning the house. You might think that, hey, I just cleaned the house. Can we just not mess it up? Well, life goes on and things get out of order, and then it all needs to be spritzed and cleaned and taken apart, stuff organized, and it just all needs to be reintegrated and then grounded again, so that this is now the way we do. We've moved things around, we've made things happen. So today we are going to be doing reclaiming. So let's say you've done all the work along the way with us. So now you're probably asking, all right, so I've taken care of what I can do, but what's next? Well, what's next for this time is calling back your power to yourself. This has been another area that's been a lifelong journey for myself. I have had to figure out how to nurture myself back to a place where I had self-confidence and the boundaries, setting those boundaries. And it's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to be an identity that's separate from someone else's wanting to make you be an extension of them. Or you feel like, well, I'm only myself if other people approve of me. And those things are really big tussles and important areas for you to wander through and figure out for yourself, where are your boundaries and who are you and what is confidence, and are you expressing that confidence? Are you actually in your power? Can you say, no, not for me? That no is a big word, and it is a sentence all in itself. No. That is really hard for many who have gotten, trained or just have always felt like, if other people are happy, then I can be happy. And that's my safety and security, where it may be that you're going to need to say no more often. I have always liked Cheryl Richardson. She always had advised in her work to purposely, once each day, disappoint somebody on purpose, because that was how she could build herself up in her own confidence. It takes courage, and courage is a baseline that we all need to be able to move up from. I will be able to go into all that in my membership when we talk about energy levels and how you can find out where you're at in the picture of who you are, where you're fitting in, and where do you want to go, where have you come from. That's always been fun as well. Where have I come from? And when I look back And it's been quite the journey. And it's not always been an easy journey. And then sometimes it's been a great journey. And it's like, well, yeah, of course. And then it'd get hard. And then it's like, wait a minute, I did all the good stuff. I'm supposed to be a good person. And if I'm a good person, everything's going to work out. And then I won't have any more problems. I won't have any more troubles in my life. That's not how it works. It's always going to be a mix of those kinds of choices and experiences, solving things. And that's something that's been interesting. And I wonder if it's going to come out with the Soul Life Treasure Hunt board that we always use each week when I'm doing this for us. As you know, this is a system that I was praying for, some kind of map way to be able to integrate all the things that I'd been learning about spirituality, being a person, how to move forward healthy and strong and find my own identity. So this is such a great topic, this reclaiming. Let's get going with the Millennium Thoth deck and let's roll, because I think if you're anything like me, I am ready for this one. We're going to use green dice today because I feel like green just symbolizes all this healing. You probably healed yourself a lot, or you're on a healing journey right now, and you have this need to kind of put it into order so it makes sense. How do I claim myself in all of this? I've finally see the point of setting boundaries, but why? How can I do that when I've never done that before in my life, or maybe I've been doing it, but maybe not as much as I should, and it's time. It's time. You're in a situation where you really need that. So we're gonna just roll the dice. All right, we're gonna go to manifesting this realm down here, and we're going to lifestyle. I love this. I was asking which choice I had, because I use a row and column method, and so sometimes they'll come in as both. Most of the time it's one or the other, and that's where we're at right now. So this is going to be this ability to be flexible and move forward in your life with things that are showing up, and reclaiming who you are is fitting this beautifully. I'm loving it. So I see this in a little area called a toolbox. So we're going to look for a key that's going to unlock the very thing that you need to hear today. So stick around. Let's keep going. As you know, we always take the Millennium Thoth deck and ask Spirit. I love the Holy Spirit, so I go there. Your spirit could be any other benevolent, kind, loving, gracious spirit that you just know guides and is trustworthy and is out for your best interest. So what is the heart of the matter? When it comes to reclaiming and calling back our power, I always feel these. It's Six of Swords. I'm loving this because Six of Swords, it has Mercury and Aquarius. And Mercury is very much about communication. Love it. So being able to use your voice and have the information you need. So if you've studied things like confidence or setting boundaries, you're in the right place, definitely. And if you need more information on that, give us a little bit of information down in the comments. Ask your questions and we'll go there. Aquarius is so good at being unique and innovative. And they're always researching and trying to find a better way to do things. So if you're anything like me, being part of a family that taught me how to be me, and then that day that came where I needed to be able to do it for myself and know for me who I was. Because this is kind of what's come to my mind. Some people are, a junior or a third, or they're named for someone that is very honored in their family line, or historically or whatever. But what remains is they're still themselves. And sometimes in naming somebody a junior or a second or third type of name is difficult for you to see the real them. And those people probably really have to fight for their own individuality. And that's where Aquarius is so good, because Aquarius is going, I am not like anybody else. I am me. So reclaiming I am me, you may want to journal on that. I am me. And then write down all the things that are you, all that you are. I would say at least do the I am, the very positives, the things that you are. Very important in this reclaiming journey that we're on today. All right, let's see what else we've got. Okay, well, what is influencing or supporting this Six of Swords? 6 is such a nurturing number. It is so much like education and medicine and safety and security. I see police officers, firemen, doctors and nurses, educators. I see all of those good people who are really all about the best of society, having the nurturing and the care that they need, that they can't get for themselves or their own families, because we need something bigger. We need bigger institutions or bigger goals that an individual family just can't always do. You need someone to call. You need the people sitting on 911 on the other end to be able to know who to call and bring to your assistance. So the swords are very much about your thoughts and beliefs. So how are you thinking and nurturing yourself would be a big one with Six of Swords in my mind. And helping you with that is the Queen of Swords. This is about making sure that you are the star of the show, the spiritual self of you, not your ego. Your ego serves, but a lot of times egos want to be in charge. They want to be the boss of you, and you need to put them in their place. And in this card, they do it by severing the head. It's kind of gross, but it kind of just says, you are not me. I am me. I am spiritually aligned and the star of this show. So just keep in mind where you are. I need you, yes, but we're up in the heavens and you're just a sideline of my journey. Yeah, that's a big part of putting your ego in its place. And I love that for all of us. If you've never done that before, where you've actually handed your ego over to spirit, to actually take it out so it's not tormenting you all the time, that is a big part of it. I love C.S. Lewis's book. There's one part. The whole book, I don't really go all the way to it, but there's one part where there is this man being just hammered and tormented by this creature self that keeps on his shoulder, keeps telling him how bad he is, how awful he is, and all the things he's done wrong. And he's just shrilling and struggling. And the Holy Spirit is saying, do you want me to take that and break its back? No. Well, yeah, but no. If I do that, you're going to hurt it. And then it's going to, because the thing is whispering, no, don't let it. Oh, I'll be good now. And it hides, but then it comes back later and it keeps going back until finally, and I did this myself, and it really helps when you do it properly. So I would get some help, obviously, get some professional help if you need to, but what was fascinating was on the level of the day when I was finally done with all that incoming ugliness. And I actually said, yes, please, I hand this over to you because I can't do anything. Every time we talk, it promises it won't. Then it comes back and it's horrible. And it worked. It took that being, whatever it was, I'm going to call it ego, and it broke something about it. That ego then became this beautiful, grew into this steed, and it was able to carry the person on its way like they were a knight. They were able to ride the ego. The ego supported them, and not them supporting this ugly ego that didn't know anything really as a spiritual being. It was about this other beingness. And we all struggle with that side of ourselves. We are spiritual beings in a human existence. And part of that lesson is to find our way. And I love that about our spiritual journeys. And many people like to make that a horrible thing. And I think it's actually one of those things that I'm blessed by now. At one point, I felt like, that's just the ugly side of life. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be something that you actually can overcome and have it serve you. You don't serve it. So it's like, who's in the driver's seat? Yeah. Who's in the front seat and who's in the back seat? So all of those things that we do it all the time with training and domesticating and finding our way. That's where we set our boundaries. This is how we do it. This is what we're going for. This is the identity, that the responsibility, the things that we are going to integrate for ourselves. Who are you? Who is this creature side of yourself? Who are you spiritually? Those are good. And that will give you confidence. Over time, it will certainly give you confidence. Moving on, let's take a look at what we are trying to balance. What does our soul want us to know and to balance properly? The soul is asking us to really be exploring. The Princess of Cups is just about finding this feeling, this special place in ourselves. It says, life is beautiful. Nature is here for me. It's all a gift. So, sometimes we don't always see it as a gift. I know I came through some of the Christian Bible teachings and such, and there's kind of that war with the ego. I get it. And I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm not going to say that it's absolutely right either. Because the reality is, you really do need to find your peace within the fact that you're a spiritual being in a earthly body, and those two need to come together. And how you think and feel about those is the nurturing that you are giving yourself in that paradigm. You may not agree with this. That's up to you, but that's how I have been able to work it through so that I can see how I stay aligned. I'm not getting rid of an ego. The ego's still going to be coming with me, even if I'm spiritual, but it's minimalized. It's a smaller part of myself. I am a much greater, grander being in the eyes of the divine. The divine sees me as a star, as a trophy. And that's one of the reasons why when I prayed for this, I was like, I want to see myself like you see me, God. How do you see me as a trophy? I don't see that. Well, one of the things the Spirit had to do was to minimize the ego voice inside me and let's go more spiritually minded in all things. So if that's helpful to you, I offer you that one. All right. Here's how we are conscious, the peace that we have, what we actually know. This we didn't really fully know, not fully how we're supposed to balance this, but we know this is the goal. This is what we know and what we can trust and call upon. And it is about the devil. All right, this one's going to take some talking about. So in the devil card, especially if you're in a Christian Bible thing, I had a really hard time at one point dealing with the devil. And I'm still on a journey trying to fully understand what this card as an archetype is trying to say. And recently it was fascinating that sometimes when it comes to other people, can be standing or sitting in front of their lineup with the divine. I can think that I am more connected to the divine than they are. And I can say, do things like I do what I tell you to do. If you did things my way, we wouldn't be in these difficult problems. That's still being a devil, because you're not stepping out of the way and letting the person themselves be in alignment with their own divine energy corridor, the alignment that they need to be in. So you have that. You also have a similar thing with what it is that you are trying to do with life. I see CEOs being able to make the decisions, and then their workers are able to then produce for them. So that would be another way of doing it. And of course, we've got the other, what addictions, what concerns are you allowing to be more important than your own peace, love, and harmony? Your corridor, your alignment. So already we've got an alignment. You know that improperly aligned is bedevilment, and you don't want to do that. You know what that means, and you know what being aligned is, because you do know that you want to nurture yourself, and you know that you've got to find a way to be at peace, and that all aspects of yourself are in agreement, that somebody's got to rule. Who's going to rule? The devil or your spiritual self? That's interesting. And your soul is going, I hope you'll go here. I hope you'll go spiritual and really drink in, really smell the roses, and enjoy the gifts that do come to you. Even when things are a bit dicey, to say the least, at least you know that you belong and that it all has great meaning. And just because you've come through some bedevilments and you're questioning whether or not you are bedeviling anyone else, those are great places for learning and for being able to reclaim what you really want and what you really need. Another great journaling piece right there that you can do. All right, what is bringing this into our awareness? Because we're all being made aware. Okay, this is the Four of Swords. Bring this in. Four of Swords is Jupiter, which is very expansive kind of energy, with Libra, very balanced energy. I see the alignment rays coming off of this beautiful violet flower, and the flows as well. Everything flows from a spiritual purple flower like essence of beauty. See how beautiful her life is with flowers, and everything's just in harmony. Well, 4 is very harmonious, but again, it's about beliefs and thoughts that are likewise pointing to the center of what is important most. And you've got your alignment right. You've got your ability to flow and allow what was into now and what now, and allow it to direct where you're going next. So I love this card for all the reasons that I just mentioned. It's saying, take time out. You've taken time out, and you've asked yourself, how do I nurture and care about myself better? What new beliefs, information is available, and how can I be uniquely my own person, my own identity? Have the confidence to set some boundaries and say, you know what, you may want this and you may demand that, but it's not me. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be Aquarius, even if you're another zodiac sign. Aquarius people really show you how they're not afraid to be who they are. And I love that about the zodiac now that I'm looking at it as fractions of bits and pieces that we probably each have an element of, but we can learn so much from their examples and the things that they're going forward in and learning that's different from you. I see that in my children, my husband, myself, my in-laws, my parents and siblings and friends and family. It just expands and expands as we all have different personalities, but they still kind of have an archetypal energy to them. So that's why Myers-Briggs is a big one that a lot of people have used, and trying to dial in the Jungian archetypes. What contract am I in? Where am I at in this? So they all are giving you a way to make sense of a crazy mixed up world, so that you're not so tending to be, it's crazy and it's mixed up and I don't know where to go next. And it gives you an element of something like this, whether Soul Life Treasure Hunt is your gig or not. It is mine, and it is helping me to be able to take a look at Tree of Life, I Ching, the Tarot, the oracles, the Bible, all of it. It just helps me so much. And of course, personal. Where am I at? Where do I need to focus and see a different picture, a different amount of information? Where am I not seeing something, or where do I need to look next? So that's where I find it so helpful. So let's see what the outcome, if we're on a trajectory of where we're at right now. So that would be 9 of Wands. So the main wand is the big one that is connecting the sun of enlightenment, where you've turned on the lights, and the arrow of Sagittarius, which is like, I know where I'm pointing my arrow to get to the heart of the matter, getting through. But there's different barriers to entry, obviously. Probably lots of responsibilities. There's mortgages to pay, kids to feed, friends that are having needs themselves. You could go around to each one of these other wands and see whatever else is blocking your ability, your willpower to be able to be fully on target. But that's okay, because it's still filtering out something that is helping you to say, you know what, I need to just put these into an order where they're not the top priority. They can be a priority, but really, where's my priority? My priority is this wand. You could add another wand to get you to a 10, which might feel like you've overdone, and you could go down to an 8. But essentially, the question is, what do you really value? What have you already signed up for? What responsibilities? What are you shooting your target for? Are you just for survival? Or are you going, I need to be able to find myself and to claim myself and to be more confident? That's how I'm seeing this right here, because it's showing you the path of being able to get your swords, your beliefs and thoughts together and sort them out and go, I'm going for the most nurturing and caring thoughts and beliefs that all point to a much more Christ-conscious concept of spiritual self. That's how I look at it. But what would a red rose mean to you? And the ability to bridge that alignment, knowing that there's bedevilments that happen, nurturing that needs to happen, and a life that needs to find its balance and be able to make all of the bedevilments and the beauty all come together so that it makes good sense. And it's like, yeah, of course stuff happens, but in this grand scheme of things, and there we are bridging the rest and the contemplation of what we wanted and getting to where we want it, and being able to say, you know what, it's all going to still have some elements of spiraling. I'm going to need to rest from time to time. I'm going to need to face my addictions and face whether or not I'm in the way of someone else's divine connection and I'm trying to be their savior or their caretaker or their, you'll fill in the blank. And over here is, there are some responsibilities that are fine for me to accept and take on, and there are some that I haven't even been asked, and maybe it's a good thing to set some boundaries that unless I'm asked, and I can take a moment to say, does this align with me as my own identity? Is it something that I want to do rather than I feel forced to do? That would be getting yourself to confidence to say no. If you say yes and you're perfectly aligned with it, it feels so good. It feels like the right answer. Then you have what you need. It's a beautiful, beautiful lineup. I'm really excited. Now, if we haven't met, my name is Carrie, and I have a membership down below. You'll see the information in the description. There's also the expanded reading in the membership where I'm going to go further. We're going to take a look at all of the other parts of the board, add some more cards on, because while this is a great reading, there's a lot more that could be talked about. But again, we're talking about your lifestyle and how you've chosen to this point. And are you continuing to choose that? Is there something you need to slay that is too much in charge? Is there something that's bedeviling you and that you need to have more of a brighter light upon and direct your arrow of, this is where I want my life to go. This is the guiding lineup of who I am and what I'm going after. They're all beautiful messages. Each and every one has something to help you find your own way. So have a great day. I love seeing you. Be sure to like, comment, and share. I'd love to talk with you more about all of these things. Take care.